Third time's a charm on bodywork. I know it.
Today is bodywork day. We've got everything all stripped down, everything all cleaned up. All we like is bodywork, and we're ready to prime this side.
Bring me a beer and some cigarettes. Dusty, is this in your pay grade?
It depends. It's a trick question.
Are we gonna have to redo that one?
Probably. I'm touching it. It looks like a calico alien. It really wasn't supposed to be this much work. What's up?
What?
I'm showing them the calico alien.
We were just about to prime the side of the trailer. Most of the bodywork's done. We found this crease at the back. We'd missed it every time over.
How?
So, and no kidding, right? It's huge. But I'm gonna go through the whole process of fixing this in small clips.
To show you guys what we're doing, he's going to Bondo it first. He's actually prepped the area first, kind of roughing it up a touch. Then he's gonna Bondo it. Then he's gonna glaze it. And then he's going to prime spray over it before we actually do the full primer. So it's about a 4-step process with sanding in between each one. We'll show you how it's done. So Corey has his little prep station for Bondo primer and stuff. I'm not supposed to bring anything to this table, any kind of extra chemicals, drinks, or anything like that, because it can cause, what, chemical reactions, bad and stuff?
Yes. This is my OSHA approved Bondo stick. I cut a new one every day. And this is my OSHA approved Bondo
Coors Light.
Bondo palette. I'm mixing up a lot more than I'm going to use.
Why?
For one, you got to leave some on the Bondo spatula or whatever you call that thing.
So it will peel off easy.
So it'll peel off. So there's the Bondo. Here's the hardener.
And I've learned that Bondo hardener and gel hardener are different hardeners.
Just mix it in.
The way he described to mix it into me is to do the outsides first and then go into the middle, kind of like kneading bread. It dries super quick. Once it hardens, it is a done deal pickle, so you got to move quickly.
You have about a minute.
Anyway, mix it real consistently so that it actually dries evenly. That's a big deal.
If you have white spots mixed in, they won't harden.
Explain your angle that you told me.
I keep the spreader curved, so I'll have a high spot in the middle.
Instead of just going solid flat. It's actually, I'm going to try to show. It's
I go
like that. Go ahead.
You go a lot wider than what you need, so you can work it down. If you just put enough to fix the spot, you'll never get it to blend. And now that'll heat up and harden. Take about 7 minutes. And then we'll sand it back down. The reason I rock the sander is because this is a curved surface. If I just leave it flat, it's going to make flat spots. When you rock it, it takes down everything. That's flat to the touch. Now I'm going to glaze it.
This spot here, that will be covered with glaze.
Yeah, the glaze is going to fill those in.
So we are now to the glaze part, right?
This is a body glaze, basically the same as Bondo, and it's just a lot finer.
So it fills in all the little. Bondo's real porous and it has a whole lot of holes in it, right?
Yes.
And this is what fills that in, and if there's any.
It fills the holes in. It's a lot easier to work with.
There's a different.
It's a lot prettier
green.
color.
It is pretty. It's a mint green. Interesting. And P.S. if you put too much hardener in it, it hardens it so fast. Don't ask me how I know that. Same mixing technique to the outsides, to the middle. Start walking while you're doing it. So we're coming back to the spot that we were working on that had this big hole in it. And we'll show you how he fills that in. Show him the pretty color. Ooh, gorgeous. Actually, I like the baby butt pink too. It makes me smile. Is this the same with that arch thing, or is this one more flat?
You still need a high spot.
From what I hear, a lot of people actually skip this step. We're looking for a pretty decent job though, since we're going for the front cover of a magazine.
Decent now. Exceptional.
Exceptional job.
You can skip this step. Let's see, it already started hardening.
Yep.
But you can seal the primer, the Bondo with primer. And it'll fill most of the porous areas in the Bondo.
But we're just looking for a better job than that. Action.
Right, I'm using 180 grit now on the final sand.
How long's it been?
This dries in roughly 3 minutes.
Again, you're hitting the outside first before you go to the middle.
Good body work takes forever. Bad body works fast.
My kind of body works fast. I kind of think it also takes a magic touch. I've seen some people do it. It's not as pretty as others. I'm blessed. I have them. It's kind of pretty.
So it's past the feeling test. So now you take and run primer over it and do a visual test.
If you look at it while it's wet, you can see a whole lot more detail.
It'll tell you where it needs to be sanded next.
And then you do a block sander, right?
You block it.
Block it. Yes.
So we're gonna block this now. Yeah, the block is hard, so anything under it, piece of sand or large piece of dirt, whatever, can scratch and gouge what you've done. So you make sure everything's clean.
This is the part I hate.
It's a little time consuming, but it takes off all the high spots.
We've used two different primer paints. This one's actually black. I like the gray one a whole lot better. This one's more smeary to me. Next time you get the block, show them how it gets on the block. It looks like he's using a ton of pressure, but he's really not. It's just letting the sanding block do its business.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so you get all these little things on there. Go ahead, Laura. This one's...
Those are hard, so... Just tap it on metal and it'll go away.
I'm not going to film all this because it takes so long to do. It'll take about 5 minutes to work on this one little hole. I'll be right back. This process takes forever. Voila! So I said 5 minutes, it was more like 10.
Right, it was a little tough. But this is ready to prime now. The black spots are still the lower spots, but the primer filled them in. The primer is like the third filling step. It fills in the cracks and edges that the glaze did not fill.
But by hand, it's smooth as a baby's butt.
Yeah, you can't feel it.